Hi, welcome to Pardon My Frenchie. This is me, 143. If you don't have a friend, you have one now. Welcome to another edition of the Kitchen Edition, where we are in one of my favorite months, October, and we are celebrating Halloween and the fall. And today we are working on a pumpkin ginger recipe today, dog treat recipe, which is extremely easy, and ginger is extremely good for your dog's stomachs. So extremely easy. Now, oh, Coco is in trouble. Coco over here can't really, no, Coco is in trouble. I will tell you why Coco is in trouble. Because I already did this recipe today, and Miss Coco, I will tell you what, I'm going to move my treats over here because I had already made this recipe, and when I was setting up the camera today, as I was setting up my camera, Miss Coco decided to jump up on my table and steal one of the treats today. And she's trying to do it again. So I don't know if you could see her, but she's trying to stick her little nose up here to do it again. So she knows that she cannot do that. No, you cannot do that, Miss Coco. And Rosie is right behind her. So we're going to have to move my treats now and tell Miss Coco no, because she cannot be doing that during this. So Coco, you cannot do that. So I'm going to gently move her down because she cannot be doing that. So let me move her down. Get her down. Okay, so you can have some later. Mommy give you some later. Because evidently, the good thing is about this recipe is Coco has already tested it before she was supposed to. And they are very good. I know. She's scratching me. She wants some more. So we do know that this is Coco approved recipe. Soon as Mommy's done making more, you can have another one. And Rosie also had some as well, because when Coco dragged this down, Rosie got some. So we do know that this is already Coco approved recipe. But going back, this pumpkin recipe is very good. It's got ginger in it and it's got pumpkin, which are two basic ingredients, which are very good for your dogs. And so we will get started on this one. It's super easy. Now, I will say that I did go on Amazon, and I thought because it's Halloween time and how fun this would be, I thought to myself, how fun would it be to get some of those silicone pans in different little Halloween shapes, right? So what I did was I went on Amazon, and I got these cute little shapes, and there's like bats and ghosts and pumpkins and all sorts of things. So I got a few of these, and I'm going to be 100% honest. They're cute. I did the recipe ahead of time, which I just said, but I will tell you what. They make the treats come out very thick, which is okay, I guess, if you're making, a few for what it is. They came out in cute little shapes, which are really good, but there goes Coco. But I'll be honest, I didn't see a purpose to it. Have treats that thick. You're not going to really hand a dog that. This recipe is a little thicker, so I would not say these are treat approved to Jen. If you want to make a few to have to decorate something with, that would be fine. But I would not go forward and make treats out of these. I would stick to making treats in your treat maker or rolling them out with your cookie cutters. Now you could find really cute cookie cutters in the shapes of pumpkins and ghosts and stuff. That would be great. But to use these silicone pans, unless you found silicone pans that may not be as deep as these, that would work. But these, the ones that I found on Amazon, way too deep. They made them way too thin or thick. I'm sorry. And again, I'll show you later on. They came out cute, but I would not recommend these at all. To be very transparent. And I'm not gonna tell you something that I would not recommend. So, but I'll show you what they look like later on. Nonetheless, the recipe is great, and it's super simple and super healthy for your dogs. And like I said, Coco already dived into one, and so did Rosie. So you can see here earlier, she was already trying to get one again. So anyways, but let's get started. This one, again, another super easy recipe. We're going to start out with 2.5 cups of your whole wheat flour. I'm going to put that in my bowl. If for some reason you're making these, you don't have whole wheat flour, go ahead, grab your rolled oats. You can grind them up in your NutriBullet, make it into like a floury substance. And again, anytime something calls for flour in these dog treat recipes, you can always substitute it for the rolled oats. It's great substitute, and vice versa. If you don't have rolled oats, flip it to the whole wheat flour. Very versatile on both of them. So we've got our 2.5 cups of whole wheat flour. Our next ingredient is we are going to put in 1 egg. 1 egg is going to be going in here. Throw that in here next. Love this time of year. October is my favorite month, not only because it is my birthday month, which I just had yesterday, and had a very nice day. Wonderful people, wonderful wishes. So that was always very nice, and just really enjoy it. It's nice when people come out of the woodwork and remember you on your birthday. It's just a very wonderful feeling. So anyways, I'm getting this egg mixed in here. Anytime I do these recipes, I always like to just take a little bit extra time to mix the ingredients one at a time when we're in here. And I like to throw things around, as you can see, make a little bit of a mess. That's always good. So our second ingredient is going to be 1/2 cup of pure pumpkin. Now you can go with pure pumpkin in the can. Do not go with the pumpkin pie filling. Pumpkin pie filling will have that extra sugar and stuff. We don't want that. Go with Libby's pure pumpkin filling. Again, we love Martha Stewart. I love you, Martha Stewart. Hopefully one day she sees all these. But anyways, so you can get a pie pumpkin if you want, hollow it out, put it in your blender, get 1/2 cup of pure pumpkin if you want to do it that way. Or if you want to be like Jen, get your can of pure pumpkin, 1/2 cup of it, throw it on in here. And we're going to mix that up real good. And get it all up in there. Throw that off to the side. And mix that all up. Yeah, pumpkin is wonderful for dogs. Absolutely wonderful for dogs and their digestive systems. But yeah, I don't know. When I thought it was going to be so creative to make these silicone molds when I found them on Amazon, but unfortunately, I was so disappointed when they came out. So just so disappointed with it. But that's okay. That's why we do things, right? We try them out, and if they work, they work. If not, not. But maybe I could use it for something else. That's a good thing about life. You try stuff, and if it works, that's fine. If not, then move on to something else. So got this all nice and neat in here. So next we're going to move on to ginger. Ground ginger. I've got my thing of ground ginger, and with this ginger we are going to go with 1/2 tablespoon of ground ginger. Grab my 1/2 tablespoon right here. And I mean, I guess if you want to be creative, you could go with you can ground up your own ginger. I just like to get these in these little cans that they have, ground ginger, grocery store, simple. No reason to reinvent the wheel. But get your ground ginger in there. Smells really good. Ginger's so good for their digestive system, along with pumpkin. And get that all up in there. Next thing we're going to go with is a tablespoon of coconut oil. Now remember, coconut oil comes in the solid form, so we're going to put it in our microwave, which I already did earlier. So I got that all melted and in here, so I'm going to get that moved in. Yeah, so that's one thing with coconut oil. It comes in the solid form. We got to liquefy it so that it goes in. And when you do, you got to make sure you get it in right away. If not, it'll harden back up on you. So get that in there, all nice and mixed up. And coconut oil is great for the skin and coat on dogs. And this away. And the next and last ingredient is going to be a half a cup of water. I've got a cup here, so I'm gonna go, and not gonna lie, I'm probably gonna go with a cup of water on this because when I made it the first time, it seemed like it needed a little bit more water. So I'd probably add maybe 3/4 a cup water. So I'm gonna start out with this and see how it goes. Just because last time it seemed to need a little bit more, but we'll see how it goes. We've been watching a lot of different Halloween movies, which have been nice. Going to a Halloween party tonight, which will be a lot of fun. 80s theme Halloween party. So that'll be very interesting. Like I said, I love everything about Halloween. Just everything from the pumpkin patches to carving pumpkins to just the spookiness of it, but also the fun, everything that goes along with it. Yeah, so I'm going to add in a little bit more water because we're definitely going to need it on this one. So I'm going to get it here, pop that in. And I did pull out my regular treat maker, but I also pull out the donut maker as well. Because I do like the way the little donuts look. We were talking about earlier, my family and I, about our old favorite Halloween movies that we liked. Like, old school Halloween movies, scary Halloween movies, and just how they've kind of made them a lot different now than they were when we were growing up in the 80s and 90s.
What are you doing? Can I come home from work one day and it just be normal? What is that? Is that real? Hi, Mom. Are you serious?
90s, just kind of how they've really changed and somewhat crossed the line a little bit, and just seem to have gone from kind of fun to really over the top gory, which I don't really care for, but it just seems maybe that's kind of the way the world is going now. But everybody kind of used to like the Jason movies, and I even liked the Saw movie, the first couple ones where they were just more psychological rather than gory. And of course the Michael Myers movies, those were always fun and suspenseful and all that. But some of the ones you just get too over the top, and I don't know. Maybe I'm just too old fashioned for that nowadays. It just gets a little crazy on me. But anyway, so I'm going to start. This looks wonderful. I'm going to start getting this in my treat maker, and we're going to see how they turn out. But it's, like I said, smells good. These are super simple, super great. And again, I mean, we've got trick-or-treating coming up. I don't know about your neighborhood, but our neighborhood, we have tons of people and dogs that walk around. I mean, I would probably, hand these out to people that just to make sure if you are going to hand it out to somebody with a dog, make sure that you find out if their dog has any allergies. That would probably be beneficial. But just because you don't want, somebody with a dog with a pumpkin allergy, or, I mean, I'm sure there's, some dogs, like Rosie has a lot of allergies, seasonal allergies and food allergies and all that. And you don't want to hurt somebody's dog, and that'd be the worst ever. But in the same sense, for dogs that do not have any kind of issues or allergies, this would be a nice treat to be able to hand them when kids are trick-or-treating. So we always try to, when we pass out candy and stuff with trick-or-treating, we always try to have a variety of things for people. Stuff for little kids and big kids. And if there are kids that, there's some kids out there that can't have candy. So I'll throw in coloring books and all sort, again, there's children that, unfortunately can't have candy. So I try to have something for everybody. And, you don't want to see a kid have to miss out on Halloween or trick or treat because of allergies or something like that. And, I just try to cater to everybody, or make sure everybody has a good time, because it is fun. And, it just, like I said, it's just a great holiday. I think it's a great holiday. Anyways, and I'm putting this, as I usually do, as Jen style. I'm putting this in very fast and very, very fast and very sloppy, which is fine. Like I said, the dogs love it either way, and they appreciate it. And my treat maker, I mean, nonetheless, cooks it very fast, which I love. So lock that one up. We'll start on our donut maker, get that going, and get this one rolling. And then after this one's going, I'll show you the end result of the ones that came out of the mold, so you could see how they came out. And like I said, I unfortunately just not thrilled with it at all. And like I said, I'll probably have to use the molds for something else. But another thing you'll find interesting, this little hand right here, they had hands, and probably in my next video I'll show some of the other ones, but this hand is actually a dog toy. I got it at the store Five Below. They had hands, and they had brains and a knife, hands, brains, a knife, and a foot, I believe. But they're all dog toys. So I bought a few of them and gave it to the girls. So I'll show pictures on the side of me too of the girls playing with it, because it looks hilarious. Rosie's running with a knife in her hand, and Coco is chewing on a hand. And so it just looks absolutely hilarious that they have these. But yeah, so anyways, we are almost done here. And again, and I'm putting a lot in here, but there's still a good amount of dough in here. Yeesh, I'm going to shut this one. But, and I'm not going to lie, I overdough'd these, so you'd probably have enough dough left to at least fill this guy up again. So what is this? I think there's 16 treats in here, so you'd have another 16, and then there's 12 in here. See, that's a good amount of treats for this batch. And again, I've said it once, I've said it before in these videos. That's what I like about some of these recipes, is I don't like to just make a recipe that makes 12 treats. That's, to me, is a waste of time. Now, granted, you could double it if you want, but I mean, I kind of like that going in, knowing how many treats I'm going to make. So Okay, so with the silicone pans, this is how they came out. So yeah, okay, it's a skull, it's cute. Here's one of the pumpkins. Yeah, that's cute. But look how thick that is. These are all cute, but they're thick. They're really, really thick. And like here's one of the bats, but they're really thick. So I mean, to hand this to Rosie or Coco, the way that they are, I mean, Coco will try to inhale this and she'll choke on it. This is definitely a treat that you would have to sit there and break up amongst, one or two dogs. But to hand this to a dog, they probably choke on this. So you'd have to break it up. But does it come out cute? Yeah, they absolutely come out adorable. It's just, again, the recipe is thick, and it just, to me, I don't know. I just wouldn't do it. I would go with the treat maker and do it that way, or roll it out. Get some cookie cutters. Get some cute little Halloween cookie cutters, and throw it in your oven. 300, 375, 325. Throw it in for 10 minutes, and you're done. So, oh, geez, Louise. Well, there's my trick or treat, right? These are done. Perfect. These are absolutely perfect. Let me grab my little fork here. Absolutely perfect. They smell good. They look good. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. Ah, love these treat makers. I know I say it in every kitchen edition. Say it, I say it, I say it, and I will say it 100 times over. These are amazing. These treats are so good. So, yep. As I burn my hand. I don't want to do that. So, anyways, but I mean, look at it. Perfect. And these are perfect size. They're nice and soft. That's another thing. They're beautiful. They're soft. They're not hard. So if you have a senior dog, they're not going to break their teeth on this. All natural ingredients, which is great. This is, again, another one that if you're giving it away to people, make sure you tell them either put it in your fridge, put it somewhere, but they've got to have these eaten within, at least a week or 2 weeks. That way they don't start, growing mold or anything, because it is all natural products. So it's not, they don't have anything to keep the shelf life on them. And, that's the best part about it. But anyways, so let's see. Oh, we got our donuts already too. So let me pull one of these guys out to show you. Let's see. Let me pull out a prettier one. Like I said, I just slapped these in here, so it's not going to be Martha Stewart pretty. Oops. But still, let me see here. Let me pull one of these out. Look how lovely that is. And I'll push the holes through and everything. And if you wanted to, again, you could take a little bit of peanut butter, take, maybe a tablespoon of peanut butter and a half a cup of yogurt, mix those two together, and then you could make like a frosting, a little peanut butter frosting for your either your treats or your donuts, and make it all fancy if you wanted to do it that way. And then maybe you could put some sprinkles on it, or you put little pumpkin sprinkles on it if you really wanted to be festive, and hand those out that way. That would be good, all healthy and for your dogs and so forth. So anyways, these are pumpkin ginger dog treats. Simple and easy. Put them in your treat maker, roll them out for your friends, give them as a healthy treat for your dogs. And I will have the recipe down in the comment section. Please tell all your friends about us. Please hit the like or subscribe button. Appreciate you so very much for stopping by. If you don't have a friend, you have one now. Take care. Bye-bye.